Well, good day YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino, and we're looking at a beer that I got in a beer mail just today. Now, it's kind of weird to me that this type of thing happens to me, because you get a beer mail and you're like, well, you get a bunch of beers, and you're like, yeah, I got all these beers I have to review, and they're older beers, and then you get a beer mail and you're like, fuck the older beers, I got a beer mail, let's look at one of these beers first. And even if it's newer, you still look at it first for some reason. I don't know why I do that. But anyway, today we are looking at Bentley Brewers Copper Lager. So, there is the logo. Whoa. So this is actually a totally black can, and this is just a, this right here is just a can wrap. It's the smallest can wrap I've ever seen. They can probably get them on sheets of 3 and just slit them. Yeah, but, so Bentley Brewers Copper Lager. So it says here it's Ottawa's oldest brewery. I never even heard of these guys. Even when I lived near the Ottawa Valley, I never heard of them. After craft beer started popping in Ottawa Valley, I never heard of them. I saw them in the LCBO over the last, not the LCBO, sorry, the beer store over the last year or so on their page, and I got my buddy Guy to go pick one up for me. Now it says here, Ottawa's oldest brewery. And then over here it says 5.1% alcohol, okay, brewed by Brewers Delight Inc. in Ottawa, Ontario. I don't even know what Brewers Delight Inc. is. And then it says see bottom of can for production date. So, here's something I wanted to ask you guys. I know I'm blind and all, but here's the bottom of the can. Do you see a production date anywhere on the bottom of that can? And then I thought maybe it's on the rim. Then I thought maybe on the can itself. Then I thought maybe on the top. If you're going to advertise a production date, you probably should have a production date. It's most likely gotten rubbed off, because I mean, here's a blue ink splotch, unless that blue ink splotch was supposed to be the date and it didn't stamp, it just splotched. Anyway, let's forget about it. We've talked too much about it. Let's open her up and pour her in. Anyone from Ottawa that knows what Brewers Delight Inc. is, I'll end up looking it up, but alrighty. So, that actually is a beautiful reddish color. Wow, that's beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful red. Nice, bright white head. Some snap, crackle, pop there. That is a nice looking beer. Let's top her up. That is a nice looking beer. Smell. Okay, just kind of bready. Just kind of bready and a touch of caramel. Breadiness and caramel. Not bad. Let's try it. Cheers. A very apparent malt sweetness with a very apparent caramel taste. Bready biscuitiness in the background. Slight dirty hue in the hop area. But really, very simple, very uncomplex, if that was a word. Not complex really at all, very simple beer. Not cold at all either. It came right in, was opened up, brought down here, and did the review. It's a lager with a little bit of flavor. Like, it's very light bodied, it's very easy to drink. The caramel and the sweet malts cover the front of your tongue. Bready biscuitiness with a little bit of dirtiness covers the back of your tongue. Nothing bad about the beer. There's nothing great about the beer. It's a beer. Bentley Brewers Copper Lager. I know nothing about the brewery, other than they're in Ottawa, and it says Ottawa's oldest brewery. But that's not really hard to do. I mean, what's the oldest craft brewery in Ottawa? 3, 4 years old? So, that's not hard. Maybe 5? I think Kitchissippi was one of the first craft breweries in Ottawa that I know of. Anyway, I'm rambling on things I don't need to ramble about. I'm pretty sure these guys contract brew. I'm pretty sure they're a contract brewery. And I don't know where they'd contract brew. Obviously, somewhere that either uses a mobile canning line or has their own canning line. Unless they do have their own brewery, and I've just never been able to find it anytime I look up Ottawa breweries, because it's never showing up on Google. So, very simple beer, very easy to drink, very approachable. Is there anything I don't like about it? I'm not a big fan of the smell. Now that it's aired out, it kind of has a little bit of like a stale caramel scent to it. But it tastes fine. Would I buy it again? I'm going to say it's a pass, but would I buy it again? Is it in the 6 range or the 7s? You know what? It could probably be a good camping beer. It could probably be a good food pairing beer. I could see this going with some Scotch cheeses and stuff. I'll give it a straight 7, just a 7. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Guy, for sending this beer down to me. And bye-bye, guys.